Like my 1960s new rap. You know what I'm saying? With that song. Thuggy Dubs. We got Thuggy Dubs over here. Say what's up. Hey, hey, hey. I want to say what's up. You'll come through. Show me some love. They're like, nah, we good, Pete. We good. We just chilling. You know. I got the way. I got my little brown bag, but it got fruit up in here. Like, what the hell? Ding, 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 ding. Oh, man. My family enjoy me, but the enemy hate my ass. The enemy hate me, man. And my family, they love me if they can see the light signature, you know, the quantum insignia, you know what I mean? We jumping into the game. Peace, my love. All that good stuff, man. Feeding the birds. I'm gonna jump in because I'm feeling like it, because, you know, it's like it's a cloudy day, so they're trying to, you know, the volcano's going off, and, you know, we got the vibe, and we're gonna just jump on into it right now. As far as just building about, you know, the world today. Oh yeah, I got me a kiwi. Though. Somebody blessed me with a kiwi. Somebody, what was it the other day? Where did I get the kiwi from? Right after the gym, yeah. So I told someone I ate fruit, and they was like, oh, okay. Boom, 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 and they ran to the car, because they be asking little questions now, because their ego is starting to go down. They're starting to see him like, man, I've been seeing this man, and he don't look like he's like on the street. So we can know why we bodybuilding it for. Why we're not just only bodybuilding, but we're light bodybuilding. Most eye coming out, boom, right there, showing the sun. So we got, you know, it's cute. That's the sign and symbol for the conscious minds. All right. So anyhow, though, we light bodybuilding. So the parasites, they grow in the world naturally, right? So most eye has natural remedies for them, which is fruit. Just help with like the blood flow and all that good stuff. I feel like someone was on my back. I ain't had my locks long in a long time, so that felt different. Excuse me. So anyhow, though, but the fruits and berries, they're very high in antioxidants, so they kind of get those things. So we have to eat those every day. Hence, you can eat some apples and stuff like that. I got apples. I couldn't get bananas because they ain't have bananas today, but it's cool. I'm gonna eat around like 4 o'clock. I was gonna eat one right now. I know how good they is. I be sitting there probably looking like a gorilla when he's sitting there eating like. And I'm telling you, that shit be tasting so good. I have to smack like that, G. That shit be so daggone good. Let me look around. Plus, you know, fruit gets your skin all right too, P. I gotta say it, man, because you know when somebody's eating fruit, their skin is highly electric. You know what I'm saying? It's like light, and or a majority of fruit, and they're killing parasites. So they're on a higher. They're going towards their higher self, and this is where we need to be at right now. We're sitting in order right now. The whole little thing to sell everybody on out. You know. And be like, you can look like this, and you can be like that, and let me train you. It's like, damn, they keep people in town anyways. Yo, shout out to in the house, man. That's what's up. It was a joke like, I'm gonna pack and stand my ass outside and get these daggone goods. Thank you for joining in, man. I appreciate you so much. Definitely, it's an honor, P, for joining in. Yo, it says Rebels Pro. Yo, what's happening? Yo, what's happening? Yeah, I'm glad y'all joined in. You know, we're just talking about parasites and spiritual nature, man, pretty much. And getting it right from a Mississippian, a NAGA, man. One who's been through the ups and downs and seeing where, you know, the cluster B personality takes his place in this game. You know what I mean? I would have been a doctor in their game, but, you know, most I had me studying life, you know, around me. So that's like Islam, right? I study life around me. Acronym for Islam. Yeah. Intelligence, stimulating life and matter. Whatever they did for bad, we make it for good. All right? So we love that. Hey, what's happening? El Pedro. I hope I said it right. El Pedro. Hey. You know, we out here in the water, man, getting them good negative ions, because it's a part of nature. So you got to be around like a water source or a green source, something that's stimulating your heart chakra, your whatever color that you want to be on, even if you're not on it with the semen retention. It'll still, you know what I'm saying, help you in your vibe for the day and just cultivating your happiness. Because that's what we're supposed to do. You're supposed to cultivate your happiness, dog. You ain't a punk and happy and shit. I like fuck over there. You know, back in the day, that attracted some evil mothers, but now that time is kind of up a little bit. It's okay to be happy. And this is a way to get back up to happiness. And then when you get back into your rhythm, boom, 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 you jump back into the game. You date women and all of that, you know, without having to be lustful for them or, you know, confirming to them that you want to sniff on their ass or something like that. You know what I mean? They be like, I know he want to sniff on my ass one of these times, but they turn around rubbing on their ass and shit. Like, don't he want it? Yeah, I want it, but I got a little discipline and shit. I can't just be going around sniffing everybody's ass. I be in my animal mind state. You know, I can't be doing that. And, you know what I'm saying? When I'm touching into my higher self, eating fruits, berries, and melons and shit. You know, I'm detoxing my kidneys and making sure I'm getting all that foreign filth up out my ass. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, mucus, so it won't form tumors and shit. And you got all kind of tumors that can form in your body. If you got weak recessive genes, it's a little bit harder dealing with the spirit. So it's even more important for a mother who got recessive genes to eat some organic fruits, berries, and melons. But you got to get used to it. Your body got to get used to it, because it's gonna have a very it can have a severe reaction of getting rid of something that's been into you for a while. Your elevation, or you trying to be you. And so they use these as weaponry, man. And this gets into the game with people coming from way out, some are mortals, fleshly beings, corporate bodies, you know, who's getting help from their spirit world or fallen gods on their world. And then hence their fallen gods, they just travel the fucking big ass plane, which they try to tell you there's 178 worlds, but there's so many though. They say known worlds just to get you on that, you know. But anyhow, there's so many. So they just go to weaker worlds where people haven't developed the spirituality or connection to the Most High Creator all the way, and getting that connection with their ancestors when their ancestors reach into the spiritual realm, and when them ancestors getting information from the Etherians, from their ancestors that already made it, like, yo, this is how things is going down. We trickling down information, but sometimes there's false gods that go in the game that want to be that worship the flesh of the mortals of those worlds. So hence this is where slavery and shit comes in at, because these people are afraid of elevation. They're afraid of facing themselves, because themselves they'll be facing the I am, the truth. You know what I mean? The bad and the ugly and shit. But once you do face it, most already tell you, the most elementary form, you're gonna be alright. You talking about they're like renegades going from world to world to world. Species are in tune with their spirit and with their, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Dr. K Chief, I like that. What's happening? Yeah, I had to make sure I said it right now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? With all the species on their world, when all the species on the earth plane or the plane that we see is getting in tune with their spirit and their flesh. Because we had to learn about the spirit realms, that that the spirit is in the body, and also that there's that you can explain things physically. It's like a map for the cosmos to see the times. This is why our ancestors put so much time into getting us to understand the science of our of life and the life after death type stuff. And death is just like a transitional. It's like you're a caterpillar basically, until you get into that butterfly form and you can move around and hit the spirit realm, and then you at that point you start learning the modes of travel and things of that nature when you're in the spirit world. You can learn it right now though, because we're finding yourself with these parasite shit. They done did job. It's all chemistry, you know, food chemistry too. So you got people who can cook real good and they got the chemistry, they know how to make them seasons just right. Boom, same thing, you know what I'm saying? They know how to take their little drugs just right, you know what I'm saying? And it's not like you can use drugs. You don't have to use really bad drugs. You can actually use these things to your benefit. But however though, yeah, when you're using it and trying to display something like you did this shit naturally and you didn't shoot up, I had to find out what the hell's new stuff they got coming out. Because people was coming up to me here it was like, they were just so extra. Like, yeah, I used something all at the end. I don't know, but I guess it swells them up or whatever. I don't know. But I'm just like, yeah, they like kind of stunned to see that these mugs is rich, man. Them mugs trying to get me. Man, they send all kind of mugs at my ass and shit. But you know, so it was, dude and them, they had to try to figure out my work. I let Marine, Navy SEAL workout. I had to turn man. It'll clean you out. You'll be shining like it ain't nothing, G, because the body is you letting the bacteria clean itself. You're not taking showers with their soaps, even with your maid soaps at home or whatever, like often. It's a certain thing you have to do to allow your bacteria to add up. I done went through times I wasn't funky or nothing and shit. I had broads and everything. Them husbands wouldn't even know until you tell them, like, yeah, I ain't taking it with them in a while, that type of shit. You know, so I can dip myself in the water now and then, you know, clean you off because you got all these minerals in it. It ain't no soap. It's just like straight up. You can use some soap, but I'm just saying, it's cleaning external, you know, parasites and stuff. It's like baptizing in yourself. Oh man, it was like, hold up, nigga, you can't say that. Nigga, you can't say. I had moving the tricorder like when it started. Yeah, 2,000 calories. Boom, boom, boom for me for being a vegan. Sometimes it's just I just don't want to hella heavy, so calories. Bam. Calories really don't even matter. I mean, it do 1,500 calories. It's easy to get 2,000 calories if you're eating. You can eat like, you know, almonds. I just got some almonds, but you know they're hard to digest. But if you know how to eat them, you'll be alright. You know what I'm saying? All those nuts and stuff like that, they high in calories and fat. But you can use the fat as energy, so your body you'll get heavy quick. You know what I mean? And if you get your little vegan protein shake made of mostly of pea protein, if you just basically that. It'll feed your muscles quicker instead of feeding all your fat cells or whatever. I gotta turn this shit, cause that shit's going some extra stuff. You know what I'm saying? It'll feed your muscles quicker, like whey protein isolate type shit. The pea protein will do it just right. You know what I mean? Peas and corn has always been right for us. You know, but peas is easy to digest because it's not a bean, so it don't create like acid ash in your body. You know, and then you gotta create new things to clean that out and shit. And so, but basically with 2,000 calories, you can get 2,000 calories in by drinking juice, damn near. You know, drink a carrot, apple, and ginger. I love that joint, man. You drink one of those juices, put like three carrots up in there, 3-4 apples up in there, with a nice little chop of ginger, man. That's some calories right there. Even if you bought some of the juice from the store, you just got to be careful. I used to drink all those nuggets in them, man. You drink 2 of them, you're already at 600 calories. You know? You drink 2 of them after the workout, they add no weight, and it's not even fat, so it's calories. All the juices like that is going to be calories. So if you find you a good juicer, good place, or you listen, but just whatever the vibe and shit, probably signs, I don't know. But, you know, yeah. That's really high in calories, juice is. So you ain't gonna have no problem getting big if you drink the juice. If you eat it, it's gonna be hard because you gotta have all that pulp in your body. So that's a lot of pounds to eat a food. But I'm outside and shit, so I can do it. I know my limit. But at the same time, when you're eating that in a day, you already done got about 1,000 calories in, and you ain't even ate nothing yet. Drinking a quart of orange juice, a half of gallon of orange juice or whatever they got. Whatever it's called, I think it's like $4. It's a half a gallon. Here it's like $4. I think you get it on the mainland for like $2. That right there alone, that's 8 servings. That motherfucker, as soon as you get that big ass thing of juice post workout, boom, you drink that. That's your shake if you ain't got no shakes. You know what I mean? Also, it's better. Big ass thing of orange juice. So, you know, you can use your BCAAs and you put up in there. Because supplements is from a smart culture. Supplements is for people for a culture who know they're going to get older and they're not trying to eat as much and cause damage and high digestive problems in their guts and shit like that. So they'll supplement with things that take off most of the load. Not relying on the supplements, but just using them. Not like saying like you use digestive enzymes for all your digestive meals and shit like that. That's when you have a weak ass pancreas. And I had a female that had a pancreas that had a problem in it, but she wasn't being truthful to me about what it was about. But most I revealed to me anyways. You know what I'm saying? But the pancreas can become weak, and it has basically inability to produce fucking digestive enzymes, and so it'd be hard for you to produce the bile through your what they call that? So long, I'm 2 times grown. I forgot all about this gallbladder. You know what I'm saying? You know, they take your gallbladder out because they kind of want to fuck you up anyways. But anyhow, you know, your bowel, it'd be all messed up, man. You'd be throwing up your bowel and all this. It's crazy because you won't produce the amount of enzymes. And then you got to go buy pancreatin and shit like that to get your enzymes so you can digest these ones and shit. Digest a steak. You know, and there's people who can't digest that shit. They want to eat meat so bad they go get these enzymes. You know what I mean? And it's your body showing you that you ain't supposed to eat none of that shit any goddamn way. And so that's the blessing part of it. I don't know. Let me take a sip of my So I got electrolytes. Electrolytes is good too. Electrolytes, minerals and electrolytes. Yo, you can just drink all your food all your life. I done went a month before. Just drink all my shit, just like liquid. You can just drink it just like that. I'm talking about like sustain yourself, like this liquid IV. I remember I used to drink Pedialyte. I was like the only nigga drinking Pedialyte. I think like Floyd Mayweather probably picked up on that shit. Alright, so we back again. Yeah, I'm saying shake around for. Yeah, we back, yeah. It's crazy because you know I can cut on and off. We way out here too, so it's internet's good, but I ain't got internet on my phone. I don't like walking around with this internet in my pocket and shit. That's another thing. It's like, you got a number? Like, no. Like, cause it's like, damn, what the fuck we gonna be talking about, man? Right now, I'm 2 times grown. I used to hustle and make money. That's the only reason why I wanted a phone for if I did it. You know, other than that, I'm all spiritual in nature and shit. Smoking herb by the creek with my children or something, playing around. You know what I'm saying? Or you know, doing stuff like that. You know, yeah, them electrolytes, but the liquid IV, the other ones is trying to bite the liquid IV. You know what I mean? That liquid IV works until we make up a real one. They got sugar cane out here. I make up one by myself. You know what I mean? When I wasn't going in the stores like that, I purposely wasn't going to the store, so they would just see me on the street like, damn. Then everybody got a chance to meet me out here and shit. It's just like they call me different names. One other name, somebody been calling me Adonis. I ain't even telling my name was Adonis. It's like Adonis. I was like. So I guess they go to church or they just talking. I don't be on the street talking about nothing biblical or nothing in this motherfucker. They probably found the shit on here. And then some people I know, I'm pretty sure, you know what I mean, they found the way. I hear people kind of whisper my government name or whatever name they done heard about. I'm like, where did that come from? Anyways though, but these parasites though, and because it plays a role out here too, they don't even know. It's a little different out here. They just, you know, they haven't went through what niggas went through all the way, but the Hawaiians, they have got their shit taken away from them. It's different. It's some shit going on spiritually wise. It's like an invasion and shit almost. Like, damn, nigga just came in and put your little base up and all that shit, and then we can't do that. But anyway, so we're gonna make it all fair in the world. Everything's gonna balance out pretty soon because it's not gonna be like that for forever. Anyhow. Hence, we're going to take the power back in our own hands, which is get these parasites up out of us, man, because that's really what's controlling all us. When you later on at night, if your parasite is really strong, and you're going to be inclined to, you know, listening to the motherfuckers. You have unseen beings around you. It's a spirit game, G. You're not just by yourself. These beings come from other worlds, and they worship they worship your spirit for one, because it's connected to the Creator. You came from a culture that made a civilization, like, you know, planes, trains, automobiles. Like, they didn't make that shit. They seen you in that. Like, these motherfuckers is living like this. You know what I'm saying? They got houses, blocks. They're that friendly that their neighbors is only like 10 feet away from them. They actually love their neighbor. We was like that. We didn't ever lie. When we all wore jewelry due to the fact that we was honorable and noble. You know, we didn't have parasites. We knew how to eat. You know, we kept the laws, shit like that. But we was living in the Iron Age, which is the last part of a cycle where, you know, this started to decline and shit. And so we got full of ourselves. And, you know, it's like a little thing going on that went down with us. So we got invaded. We've been in war been attacked by 7 countries since fucking 1492 and a little bit before. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's been happening because all the countries set up in America and shit. They surrounded America on all sides. G. It's deep. You know, but that was a spirit game because it was allowed to come in. How that happened was there was a false god named Luamon. He caught on to the true God's plan. And so he ended up infiltrating by sending in infiltrators onto those ships and causing chaos and confusion and havoc and anarchy, you know, and spreading epidemics and shit like that from the spirit realm onto the mortals. That's how niggas was getting taken over. We don't know these parts, we just know the physical part and shit, which is war. But this is why we can take our shit back right now, knowingly and consciously, and seeing that we've been so low. Most High bless you just because you done sacrifice yourself just to get the light to the crown chakra. You trying to get on up and with water. Alright, I had to turn that off. Put my head and shoulders back on. To me so many times, and they gonna always try to form them weapons all the time, Chief. It's all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? It's an everyday thing for me because getting this type of information out at this time, it ain't never been heard. You know what I'm saying? I ain't asking for nothing and shit. You know what I mean? But if a mother chose to bless them, I do got the cash app, but just find out how to do that. But they all try to take from me the whole life and shit. I take everything. You know what I mean? Teeth, eyes, smile, all that shit. Niggas, they trying to do everything. Abuse, you know, mental, spiritual, emotional, physical. The Most High, I've always had a little path to the Most High. So we can get this down, right? This is how everybody gonna have to get on. This is gonna be the future for us, and then the rest of the world, they'll get on later. Because this is how they want to learn how to get into heaven. They don't care about the genes. They want to, you know, when they say, oh, the chicks want to get your genes, and they want to make them live on, they don't give a fuck about the genes. Them motherfuckers give a fuck about themselves. They want to get into heaven. They want to be connected to your soul, your spirit, your essence. And if they can't get into your shit, they want you to come to theirs. That's it. But theirs is getting raided and all that shit because all the spirits in their world, they done lied to. They're going to be set to their own little subjective heavens, so they can be. So that these false gods gonna have to apologize to these dang on spirits that they misled from the Most High. However long it take to redeem every single spirit. Muzz is like Creflo Dollar and all them niggas, man. Them niggas is gonna have to redeem that. They're gonna have they're gonna have a segregated heaven, a subjugated heaven. Whereas they're gonna have to redeem every follower that tried to follow them and to go back to the Creator. It's called repenting. But here with us in the flesh, we're showing it naturally for us. All you gotta do is just raise the light to the crown chakra, which is go season itself. If the enemy want to repent, this is what he gotta do. It's gonna be hard for that motherfucker because he got a recessive gene. He's recessive. He can't sit out here in nature like this and get the negative ions and it feels so extra good like I can sit here and the negative ions are soothing to my soul and my spirit. It's soothing to yours if you sat here. But if you're toxic, you got parasites up in your melanin molecule, it's a very intelligent molecule. You got shit up in it, you want to enjoy it. You won't even enjoy the sunlight. You want to enjoy absorbing the sunlight. These mothers do put on sunblock. I watch them. I used to wonder at first, I used to be like, I know that they switch off like schedules or something like, right? You know, I know they wouldn't all on the beach at the same time and just living out there, just being out there. Yet they have to hide and shit. The sun be peeling these motherfuckers. And then if they're doing drugs and shit, they peel them even more. They can do the slightest thing of fucking a little alcohol. They'll start bleeding through the pores. And I sat there, mother tried to do me wrong one time, it started bleeding right there. His heart must have started pumping a little bit hard. He must have got nervous and shit because he knew he was lying to me. Next thing you know, his fucking pores started bleeding on himself. And I started noticing that shit. People, that's what happens to them. And I watch them bleed out their face when they get nervous around me and try to say something. If they're dirty, you know what I'm saying? If some of them are clean because they got money and so they can go and keep themselves a little clean when they go to their house and shit. Because they can, you know, they can go away. But the ones who's out here around me, it's hard because they'll try to come and be offensive, but then they'll realize if they're off that shit, you know what I'm saying? I can argue, you know, shit start changing on them, G. Then they look at me. I had to look at the water. I wasn't gonna put my foot in that fight. I know we was talking about the peace. Peace to the God, peace to the God, peace to the God. Yo, you know what I'm saying? And so basically, let me take my look off real fast. It ain't nothing but, I'm not saying this in a bad way, but it's nothing but howlies here. That's what they call them. breathless beings. I didn't make the word up. They already had the word for marijuana, which was pakalolo. I didn't make it up. They already had it. It means that they already had civilization, and they dealt with their spirit guides and their ancestors already, nigga. And they connected to the creator. So it's the divine triangle I'm just putting together. I see it out here. I'm like, damn, these are part of the tribes. The Fijians, the Tahitians, the Samoans, these motherfuckers is like niggas. But they just beautiful. They beautiful. But to them, we're beautiful. Because I'm like a representative. Peace. Antoine, what's happening? What's happening? Yeah, you know. And it grows abundant too. So it's crazy. And our brothers out here, man, they've been attacked because the drug that's out here is meth. And so, you know, we don't make meth, so we're not responsible for it. It's a lot of howlies. Even white folks will call each other howly if they feel like they got the breath a little bit, like they've been around a Hawaiian. They'll be like, yeah, they call me Hawaiian too. They be like, Hawaiian, like one with the breath. And I feel like you don't have to be the actual nationality. I think it's like the person of the I am. Like you're an I am. And I think the I am is allowed to be out here that they need to heal. And they give you the evil look like, what are you doing out here? You know you don't belong here, but you know you belong here type shit. Like, and they can see that you belong here if you can withstand that the iron is cool to you, because the iron will test you and shit like that. And it blesses you too, right in front of you. That's deep. I suggest niggas come out here to heal for a second and go back to the land if they can. But it's deep though. But because Parasites is getting very agitated all over the world. Basically, I know I was getting into these the second resurrection of how these people get over here and they worship your soul and spirit and shit. Basically, that's why they want to marry you, because they know they can't get into your heavens. They've been traveling, according to their story, they can't get into the celestial world. That's the circle world. That's like every time they try to put something in there, they couldn't get them in there. And let's say that every time they try to put a human in there, sometimes you're viewed as human, sometimes you're viewed as man, things of that nature. But if you look at it as a human, don't look at it as like the flesh shit like that. But you have a hue, which is like you play all these different chocolate colors and shit. You play all these rainbow color type things. The hue of man. We have to look at it like that. But if we're just looking at the fleshy shit, that's different. Anyhow, though, they say they sent everything to try to get in there to penetrate that dome and that world or their atmosphere, because they can get through atmospheres. And this is why they want to attack the ozone layer. They want to put a hole in your ozone layer because they want to attack your ancestors and help them. But right now, the ancestors raising the heat up on their ass. We talking now in the flesh. And it's on, see? And this is what we have to do to even connect even more. And it's going to be even more funner every day. The more you cultivate happiness, the worse they going to be, G. Because I'm in the midst of these motherfuckers. I'm from Mississippi, G, and I'm in the money exactly like that. Or the house. Because they came out of shop and acted like we couldn't even roam through Mississippi. And Mississippi, beautiful places, one of the most high humidity places on the map. And when I say humid, you don't know what a good feeling feel like if you're a nigga, if you ain't been in humidity yet, in humid weather. This is tropic, but different feeling. Like 91% humidity. That's water in the air, G. You know what I'm saying? That means that niggas is breathing water, man. That's why we used to run so fast. We jump so high and shit. We fall in the concrete and skid for like 10 feet. Get up and just have ash on your arm and shit. That's how it was. The world's always been against Mississippi. A lot of shit came from Mississippi. A lot of the gang leaders, a lot of your peoples that you didn't even know, that was like, you know, that was like very like rebel-ish. I call it the rebel state, nigga. You know what I mean? It was rebel-ish. They don't even want you to visit Mississippi. It's the most pleasant place for niggas. You're gonna get treated the best you ever been treated in your life if you a nigga, if you went to Mississippi. I promise you that. That's why when I'm not mad at Deion Sanders, but he can go for the money. He already know what side he chose. He could have been rich in the spirit with us, because he tried to devalue us, just showing and proving that cluster B personality of his oppressors and shit. That he want to, you know, put his son on the market to be a motherfucking slave and all that shit. I already made videos. It's going to turn on his back. It's going to turn on him, because he had his last chance to be with the people of the Most High and help bring it up. Him being a daggone Seminole. You know what I'm saying? He even one that gave a foot, just like Kunta. That's a sacrifice, man. It wasn't nothing wrong with him like that. But he wanted that money. And he still was under that mindset that they can get, like, you know how they have older people? And even in our generation, my generation when I was younger, they had older people still under that control like they was slaving. But my granddad wasn't taking that shit. My granddad was he spent 30 years on a train and shit. So he was traveling all over and seeing how he acts and shit. You know what I'm saying? In different forms of fashion. But, you know, just breaking it down, they all have a place to be, just depending on where they at with it. You know what I mean? Whether they're histrionic or narcissists. But you can see them. They're not as clever as niggas is with it. You know what I mean? Gato, what's happening? Gato, McDonald's. Gato, what's happening? All right, so let me look at this now, real fast. Yeah, so, you know, so not just, I mean, see if we can break it down a little bit. They think we hating, but we're not hating on these motherfuckers, man. We allowed them to come in and do the best, everything they wanted, G. You know what I'm saying? Everything they wanted, man. Give them everything they wanted and then some. Didn't do nothing to them. Maybe whoop their ass a little bit later on down the line and shit, but, you know, let them know, like, huh, nigga? You know what I'm saying? You know, like that, but we're Iowans. What the Owaspin call Iowans, that's what we are. We're meant to just be creators. Just very creative, exploring our personal talents that we was given from the Creator. And some of us was given gifts to give to everybody, to uplift and raise everybody's frequency. One nigga can do that. When we said one nigga, we already told you. Niggas, we already seen an example. Michael Jackson did one thing. He took what he's seen and summed it all up previous to him, whether it was a slide backwards by Bill, I don't know if his name was Bill Bailey or whoever, you know, and just kind of, and Spring Man, and just kind of added his little thing into it, and boom. He's like, yo, this is what I've learned. Boom. And now everybody like, oh, so now we can all learn. And now they seeing how niggas learned and shit when we got our inspiration from the Creator, from our brothers and our you know, our sisters and shit like that. You know what I mean? But now we've been taking out that element. We ain't been inventing shit. Niggas is inventors. You know what I mean? We ain't been inventing nothing and shit. They made sure to keep them parasites and niggas having orgasms and sex and playing with themselves, you know, in shameful mode. All this shit, eating the wrong foods, toxic foods, and keeping their melanin molecule on a very low vibrational frequency where they can't enjoy the negative ions of the water and even the negative ions that's even in the air, the breeze in the air. You're supposed to be sitting and being like, man, that felt good. You know what I'm saying? But you can't do that because you got toxic melanin molecule. You can't even enjoy a breeze, man. So, and I had a friend or associate. It was cool too. He's still cool. I appreciate him. But his son was like one of them evil type dude and shit. He'd go outside and he did everything. He slid on the ground like, boom. He come inside like, oh, what happened? I said something. I don't know what happened to me. And he looked, and his hand was scratched on the side. And his dad was like, what's going on, man? Dad was very peaceful. He goes, the grass, it cut me. And I know the grass can cut. But as many times as I slid my ass on the ground, playing football, soccer, baseball, whatever the fuck, I never got cut by the grass. You know what I'm saying? I may skid and made some knee scabs or something like that, but I ain't never got a swift blade cut like, nigga, get the fuck up. I get this guy came alive on your ass. This is how nature is responding. It's gonna be responding like that to you when you get your light up, like Avatar type shit. Whatever you touch, shit moves. You know, you make matter move. I make matter move. Intelligence. It makes matter move. You know what I mean? And that's what you do anyways, because your intelligence manifested into a physical form or flesh in the corpor. And they, like I say, they can't get into your heaven. So this is how we're doing light bodybuilding over here. We can get our bodies up and we can be feeling egotistical, I guess. But the ego, we can only use that for certain things and shit. But most I made sure I didn't really have too much of ego to kind of talk. I'm later on in the beginning of the game. My moon is a Pisces moon. I didn't want to reveal it, but I shut to show the cards real quick just to show. And most I got me lined up as a certain astrological chart to show you. I got the Virgo in 6 placements. You know what I mean? All 6 placements. That means that I have 6 interstellar planets and placements in one sign. I guess I had to reveal that. That means that's a cosmic insignia, a signature by a divine force. All right? And having your last sign be your moon sign, which is your emotions, which is anything that you identify with your parents and how you treat the world, you know, which is how a Pisces would treat the world. That's your moon sign. Whatever your moon sign is, which pretty much is, everything. So looking at across me, looking at Virgo, everything in Virgo, analyzing everything, because Virgo is an analyzer. So in this world, the Most High gave me the tools to analyze this shit. So we're analyzing these things in the time to do it, in the divine time, and it's all during the great conjunction. You know, I know it's like fucked up the way I say it and shit, but it's the truth, P. And you don't want me to say it in an upset manner though, but this is a good way to get it across, because it's going to affect, it's going to be from now on out. The way we eat, the way we have sex, you know what I'm saying? With the way we get married, and even our burial rights is going to change up. We ain't going to even let them touch us no more, G. We can help it at this point. You know, and it's crazy, but that's how a Mississippian thinks. A true Mississippian, you meet a nigga from Mississippi, that's why you didn't see him follow a lot of things like Islam and NOIs, and you see some down like that, but they, you know, niggas is too in touch with the Most High Creator to let anything come in between that. You know, unless it was like under a spell, you know, to the Jesus story and stuff like that. Hey, what's happening? What's happening? Oh, that's what's up. You already know. We in the serpent energy right now. Doing that, the Chinese zodiac, the way he lined me up, he gave me the wood element that's dealing with Earth, Virgo, and also the ram, you know, the goat or the sheep, as far as like the lamb. You know, that's my animal sign in that zodiac, in the Chinese zodiac. And then, you know, the Mayan, we got the Mayans. All these things are connected, and they all line up. The Most High gave you discernment, so you can see him, because they separated everything, you know. So yeah. Now we know that this is a spiritual war and it's already happened. I might as well just get my daggone feet wet, man, because most of the time I send in the water up. I got these devils over here coming down here and shit. You know what I'm saying? So anyhow, though, because we making some, you know, we causing some righteousness, G. And then at the same time, you gotta understand too, when your Kundalini is going the opposite direction, when I say gaining them, that stuff like that, you actually can look at another man and being a factual, you know, sexually attracted to him, especially a NAGA. We went through that shit because of Mississippi niggas, man. They did everything to our children that you could possibly have done to a person. This is in Mississippi. I mean, everybody else got it, but Mississippi niggas got it the worst, man, because that is the center of what they found a lot of shit from, that goes and dates back older than all the shits on earth type shit. You know what I mean? And this is in Guatemala. And this is the land where the Most High say he's going to reveal, you know what I'm saying, who's going to have the stronghold, and it's going to be the spot, G. That's just plain and simple, the promised land. And so being at this cloudy right now, I ain't got the sun too much. It's taking me too much, so I got the actual angels and shit, so I got to roll with that. Because you got to understand, when Mother's energy is going the opposite direction, man, I'm sitting there chest naked. I probably look like I got my titties out or something. You know what I mean? But it's not that way. I don't think that way. So it's not my actual problem. But it means that if you're responsible, you kind of got to think for another month. But I'm like, I'm at the tropical Cancer, tropical Capricorn. It's my natural environment. I'm naturally supposed to be that way. So with other individuals, they can't do it because they have to put on sunblock and their melanin molecules off, so they can't even enjoy a breeze. May get cut by a blade of grass, or just walking down the street and just start bleeding because they're thinking too goddamn hard. This is what we're dealing with, G. And especially if you got them portals open, dealing with whatever you're dealing with, them and all that shit, that'll fuck around and mess with you too. Mess with the spirit even more. And these people can get even more attached to with these lower vibratorial species that we call jinn or jujits or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because they in my presence now, so I'm just like, you know, and they're trying to get their attention. My attention is like, it draws back to the Akashic records, and meaning that they're being reported by the Most High, as long as they feel like they're being observed by something. Because when you're dealing with a cluster B personality disorder, you can they gaslight their insecurities onto other people, meaning that their emptiness, that they don't even know that why they exist and who they are and shit. That's why they come out with so many movies of like, who are we? Why are we? Niggas don't think like that, G. But you know, now you've been under, you know, a certain narcissistic, you can say this a narcissistic viewpoint, you know, their whole little tactics. Now you see, you know what I mean, you became a supply source. It's a wooing stage, it's a gaslighting stage to make you feel a certain way. They tell you the truth about you, but then they hate that that's the truth about you. So that's the envious. That goes back to that world they want to try to get in, because everybody they try to send in that month, they die. They even try to send niggas in that motherfucker, what they call humans or some shit. It even fucked up. The niggas that sold they so-called soul and shit. You know what I mean? And these niggas go to different little worlds that they got to because they're spirit games. They know that the spirit exists. These celebrities, entertainers, they already know that this spirit world is real in a motherfucker. This is why they know these sacrifices on point. They done already talked to spirits. They don't know that mothers is on these different levels, and a lot of entertainers can see targets, can see and hear spirits and shit, or can just hear them. You know, but we was a culture that could see and hear all that shit. Why? Because we ate right in this act. We ate liquid light, we wasn't eating cooked food, and we wasn't that aggressive. I know most often to do something to this dude, so I gotta sit right up here for a second. Because, you know, I'm to be looked at, and that's what they're just sitting there doing an knowledge, looking directly at my ass in front of me. Y'all don't understand it, though. It says, you're a Cancer Sun, Scorpion Moon. Okay, so you're a Scorpio, basically. Two waters. You're deep. Very emotional and shit. In a good way, though. King of frequency moves at all. You know what I mean? And that, a lot of people, to master that school, you have to be a very advanced soul. Very advanced part of the drop. You know what I mean? Of that soul drop that the Most High produced on that breath. Like, went out like, because everything that came back, it was like, you know, that was kind of bad. So you had to, you know, it's like a That's how the creator works through this vortexian current. Sun and Cancer. Oh, the guy's Sun and Cancer. So yeah, Sun and Cancer. You gotta know what your moon sign is too. So whatever, but either way it goes, whatever the moon is in, whatever your moon is, whatever the moon sign is in right now, we're going to break down the science of our horniness and shit. Because we never know when we begin all horny. But this is right here. We just do. All right. So the thing I'm trying to get. All right. So the thing I'm trying to get. Yeah, it's my little gang started around. That Cancer moon. Oh yeah, that can't go your you say no. So it's cloudy. I'm attracting every man in the fucking town and shit because I can chest naked. That's one thing they'll tell you about out here too, man. Man, all these motherfuckers. I'm telling you, I'm Southern. You can tell when the motherfuckers they couldn't go in the opposite direction. I just don't try to just entertain it. I just like, hey, I don't have staring contests with men. It's just like a hey, hi, bye, G. You know what I'm saying? Because they see they're like entitled to your attention and shit. I'm not saying entitled to your attention. That means that it's called a cluster B personality. Entitlement issue, meaning that they just feel like they're supposed to be, you know, get you. They just feel like they're supposed to chop it up. Which I don't know. I mean, I do know, but they're just trying really hard, like females would do. You know what I mean? Like. Females would be scared to come to me right now because these dudes are a little bit more drawn up, and that alpha male shit is kind of real, but it's like you know, the light more so you can feel. You know what I mean? It's more of a light. Then it's just added on with being a nigga. Then you from Mississippi, but just being a nigga period and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then just extra little stuff. You know what I mean? So then that spirit game is like in the play. I was about to go to my little area, but you know it's cloudy right now, so I got a cool little whoop here. So, bam. But right now we're gonna chop it up on about the 12 first, though. You know what I'm saying? The 13. You know, the ones if we really want to use the zodiac, it will be the Vedic one. That was really the first one. That was dealing with Zarathustra and all of that. And you know, Cyrus came through the game and laid that down first. And we're gonna look at it through the Vedic. The Vedic, you will be most likely a Taurus. You know what I mean? Yeah, no, Gemini. I mean, so you're very intelligent anyways because you have Gemini tendencies and shit. You know what I mean? These motherfuckers trying so hard to get my attention, man. I gotta probably look around. I don't know if you want to see shit. Alright. So anyway, I guess I'm gonna have to deal with it. This is a good witch call. They're gonna do whatever. Y'all gonna hear some offensive shit, so just cool with it. And I learned too, the white folks, the cluster B personality dealing with these type of people too at the same time they call them houses. It's public display. You know, to get someone to provoke someone to do something to respond publicly when it's not like nighttime and you're by yourself, like how niggas will do it and shit. They don't do it like that. Or they'll do it in a clique like that, but by themselves they won't. But in public, it's like, you know, it'll get you to respond on a level. Oh, that nigga's crazy because you done had to strangle a motherfucker and shit. Like I told you he was crazy. He ain't all super. That's what might have to happen and shit. You know what I'm saying? Which I don't want it to get to that point but it would though. You know what I'm saying? And then at the same time, it's validating, you know, the cluster B personality disorder of entitlement, of getting the ass kicked. I don't know if you ever grew up and seen that. If you like hit a person that likes to, that want to get your attention to get hit, they actually want to get hit. You know what I'm saying? And so, and like I said, you know, whatever it is they're trying to get my, y'all probably, I want y'all to sit there and listen to this shit. Because I might have to whip some ass on the tape. And this motherfucker's a punk too anyway. I didn't see him get punked by a whole sloppy ass motherfucker. But to get slapped by me will be like a great thing. It's like getting slapped by your maker almost. Shit, like, nigga, I'll take that slap, right? Shit, what you want me to do? What else you want me to do? So, you know, and that's dealing with the whole science of the Kundalini going the opposite direction. It's a science of validating. Like, are we going to validate certain things now with people who got this disorder because it's a gaslighting and projection that you got to just learn how to use the energy and manipulate it? Because when it comes to you, these people, I'm trying to tell you, if the sun was out, they'd be bleeding out the face, man. In this place, because it's hot. When you're in a hot spot, man, it's like, it's horrible, dude, for a motherfucker. Because it's like, hell, nigga. I done did 35 winters. I know how cold as hell it is. I done did a winter. Oh yeah. So yeah, I did 35 winters, man. It's cold and how you got to wrap up. You know what I'm saying? I learned how not to perspire, how not to get sick. You know what I'm saying? In the cold ass weather. My man waited on cue and see me talking shit. He didn't want to say some noise and shit. That's how bad they want to be seen. It's pathetic, G. I wouldn't want to be seen by another man like that, motherfucker. Like, I'd be like, what's up? And keep it going. I got my own balls and dick. I ain't tripping. That's why it's important to do celibacy and semen retention, G, because for one, I'm doing my Mr. Roger things, putting my shoes on and shit, getting ready. You know what I'm saying? Getting my shit right. I got my business back. Okay, so yeah, basically, boom, let me see what you're saying. Sorry about that, y'all. Yeah, the 13 zodiac joints. You know, I want to get into it, man, because I want to actually, I'm like halfway want to whip my motherfucker ass and shit, but I halfway don't at the same time. See? At the same time, you see what I'm saying? I wouldn't even have to did that shit. And that comes from, you know, I was exposed to some shit when I was a child too, just going to the YMCA and shit, being a child. First time, I'm like, goddamn, I'm only like 7. I had a white friend, or told she brought me into the group. It's all ass men walking around here, butt ass naked, old ass men. I'm pretty sure they was judges and lawyers and shit. It's downtown. You know, and I'm like, so most I had me to experience this shit so I can be able to chop it up now though. And this cycle. So it's like, this motherfucker, I'm like, damn, this ain't supposed to be like this. We the only children in this motherfucker. I got to go. I knew I had the common sense to be like, this ain't right, motherfucker. But he wanted to be up in there and shit. So I knew how to catch the bus and go to the hood, go back home, all that shit. You know what I mean? My granddaddy taught me how to do that shit when I got up north. He was like, you don't have to learn how to catch these buses, man. And I was like, all right, cool. I was like 5, 6 years old. And so yeah, man. Anyhow though, it just goes to show you, man. Even at that age, they didn't even have no shame of those kids. So as I grew and I started seeing the science of who these motherfuckers really is and shit, and then I get to another part of the world and these people are like confirming that type of shit, I'm like, okay, that's what's up. So most I had me to be able to see it. These motherfuckers just want to be on my shits. I would turn the camera and shit, but they over there just doing that shit, G. Niggas ain't got shit to do with that. That's another thing I show. Like, nigga, I ain't got shit to do with that. I don't smoke. You know what I'm saying? You just got to show your hand. And then when you're dealing with the whole little mind-altering chemical shit, motherfuckers think they're a little bit tough when they take a hit of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because the portals is open, them spirits that's around them is egging them on, inspiring them like, yo, man, I think you can get this motherfucker shit. You know what I'm saying? Hence, boom. That's what happens. That's all the goddamn on time. But right now, it's at a certain level of respect where it's the spirit game that's running with it, not the shit. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I ain't fucking with you, don't fuck with me. And you just gonna have to show your hand if you fuck with me. That's pretty much it. And it's like, that just goes to show that you will be in a low vibratory energy anyways, and that you got hate in you anyways. And that just shows that extermination is taking place. And it's over damn near. And so all we gotta do is to do our part, raise the light to the crown chakra. And once you do it, you develop more spirits of the gift, more patience, you know, strength, stamina, all that shit. You know what I mean? Because I already know certain niggas they wouldn't be able to come over here and stand there. You have to whoop ass. They'll whoop ass right away. You know what I mean? The patience ain't that goddamn high and shit. Because they're aggressive. They eat certain things and flesh and shit. So they'll be mad. They'll fuck all the bitches they see. It's some pretty bitches too. You know what I'm saying? So it's deep. It's deep. Then they'll respond to, they'll feel all the energy and all the hate. They know how to respond right away. I done seen certain niggas, they just couldn't take it, G. Because they didn't know how to blend in. They didn't know how to use the knowledge to deal in equality with the things and events that was going on in the situations that was around them and shit. Most High had me to travel to certain places and shit. And I'm just here to heal on these motherfuckers. So yeah, part of the stuff about getting cut off about the Cancer and the Sun, you know, about your Sun and Cancer chart, bro. But Gemini is what you will be in Vedic astrology, and I'm pretty sure you're intelligent because you can feel it. But here on Earth, I separate it like this: Earth, tropically, you're a Cancer. In heaven, for forever, your ass is a Gemini. You know, so that's a Mercury rule. So I was a Mercury rule sign. So when you go to other worlds, you know, you're pretty much gonna tell your other homies from other worlds, you're like, yeah, I came from so and so and so. My actual calculation was da 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 da, and then you know they're gonna know. It's gonna be like that, G. It's not like that's why we was giving it as the tools on Earth. No devil could come up with this shit. It's the divine. It's in the sky. Then it showed us what's going on in the underworld too, and where it happens when you die, and what grades you have to have in order to get to the top point. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know. But then, like I said, y'all seen Close to Me personality popping off on tape, man. It's like it's gonna happen. I get gang stalked all the goddamn time, and when it's cloudy, it's like a spiritual jump almost. Cause and then they send these niggas right here, the boat. I feel like they getting motherfuckers from the boat, from the ring, from the ice wall, and just bringing them in, and then boom, let them come here, boom, 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 go down the street to the airport, boom, they go to their little home that they got on the mainland somewhere. Now they can live. It ain't like coming in on Plymouth Rock and all that shit in New York, man. Everybody can see you doing it. Now they coming in style, nigga. And they coming in often. So that motherfucker dark, nigga, that motherfucker dropping these bitches off like, come get on show, nigga. Nah. I don't know, man. We just speculating. And so yeah, man. But the Parasites, though, I'm gonna move around to my next spot because you know people they just watching the knock over here because it's like anytime okay, you gotta look at it like this. I'm the only one with soul, and there's no tooting the horn or nothing. And then the type of soul that a nigga got is totally different too. Because amongst niggas, they'll notice like, oh, that nigga, they'll notice it. And when you're amongst niggas, the niggas can know. It's like, oh, I done told them, I said, nigga, have you ever walked through a room full of niggas before? At least 10 niggas to get to the bathroom, nigga. Have you ever walked through? I asked these motherfuckers, like, do you know how that feel? Every nigga is like a fucking solar flare, man. You understand that? The energy that every nigga carry, and they're not like killers, but they have a very high energy, dude. You know what I'm saying? And anything can go down. When we get into that stage where it's like anybody can get it, not just niggas no more. It's like almost like niggas ain't even fucking with they stuff no more. They take it to the code. They like, nigga, no, we're not fucking with each other. Anybody else get it. You know, it's starting to get to that point. Because it's like, look, man, enough is enough. We just want to live and be on our own accord and get to do what we're supposed to do and live and build our light body up along with our physical body. You know what I'm saying? You know, we became sexual desires for everyone. People wanted to take us over. You know, and that's over because, you know, like I say, these parasites, they wanted all your shit. Your body, your mind, your soul, your land, your girl, your bitch, whatever, nigga, your kids, you know, whatever it takes, nigga. They wanted it all from you. But I'm finna get ready to wrap it on up because I feel the energy now. So I'm gonna get to my little other spot so I can eat my little fruit. I might lie back on in because get a download at that spot. It's a different energy at that spot. Right now it's a lot of little extra energies over where I'm at because there's more portals being open. You know what I'm saying? And so, and it's cloudy, so of course things is going on, basically. So I gotta go ahead and get to the next spot, and I'll build to the next one. And yeah, we jump in. We talking about that. I want to build about the daggone the zodiacs. You know what I mean? Because yeah, that Chinese one is dope. You know what I mean? And we already know who the Chinese is. You know what I'm saying? They all that is us. That ain't the whole shit that they call it now. What China is? We knowing this now. We knowing this from their little maps. You know, what is it, cartography? That's what they call it. You know what I'm saying? We call them up in their lives, P. It's over. The Great Conjunction happened. The cat never made it to the party. That was a good one. Hey man, I gotta catch up on that shit. That's dope. Hey, but I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna log back on to the next spot. So y'all just stay tuned. I'm gonna eat a little piece of the some Fiji apples. It's not really cold. It's cloudy and shit. And maybe I gotta see my little birds over there. My doves. They're over there chilling. So we're gonna see what it do. What's happening? Audacity. I'm just gonna say it like that. All right, no doubt. Peace to the God. You know, put the Most High first, and we all gonna be right here, G, chilling. I'm gonna get to the spot. I build with y'all. Love in the highest. All light. Peace, G.